us here today, and we're just going to do a quick walkthrough of the Thirst platform. I'll try and give you an idea of what it looks like and how it feels and how it behaves. The first thing to know, we're on the Discover page here, which is the first page that you enter when you start into the platform. But we've already set up our profile by this point, and we've already defined the skills that we're working towards and also the skills that we've already achieved. Thirst is a social learning platform, but it's tied very closely to skills. So all the content that you see has skills mapped to it. You as a person have skills that you're working towards and that you've achieved. And then we use that alongside other personalization data to make sure that we always present and surface to you the most relevant learning content as every time that you enter the application. So we're starting on the Discover page here. You can see we've got a lot of cards. It's a little bit like a Netflix style. It's a lovely UI to be able to use for every end user. And you can see the top panel is your latest recommendations. And this is a list of items that are basically, we've decided by our personalization engine, are the most relevant to you to consume at this time. And that could be based on lots of things. At the start, it's based upon the skills that you have and that you're working towards. But as you progress in the platform, we start to get a bit of a feeling about you. So we start to understand what types of content that you like. So if you consume video more than links, for instance, also you can affect it by liking the content that you consume. You can also follow your core colleagues and peers in the platform as well. And we're going to start pushing more content that is preferential to you the more you use the platform. So to start with here, your latest recommendations are the ones that we think are the most relevant to this point. Now, every day that you log in, your recommendations are likely to be different. And we navigate down, we can also see some suggested skills for you and content regarding a particular skill as well. So this is all to do with strategic thinking, these are all to do with creative thinking, etc. And then navigating down, we've got widen your skill set. So that's looking at content outside of the skills that you've currently got or working towards. And also recommended people to you within your organization as well that you can navigate to and see what content they're consuming and creating. So I'll move just back up to the top. We'll have a look at your latest recommendations, and these content cards here show you pretty much everything you need. There's obviously an image at the top which gives you an idea of what the content looks like. You have the avatar of the person who's posted it, so that's Jess within the business who's posted this learning content to the system. You can see how new and recent this content is, so it's 2 days old, the title of it, and also the type. So it says it's YouTube, and we've also got learning pathways, learning journeys, links, and audio as well in here at the moment. So if I like this content in the recommendations, I can click straight into that. But if I think I've not got the time now, or I'd like to consume that later, the recommendations may change over time. So if you do like something you see and you don't want to consume it immediately, you can bookmark it from the screen as well, and we can press the bookmark button, and that then makes that stored so we can get back to it at a point in time. So I'll just move through to the My Learning tab, which is the main navigation at the top here. So you start on the Discover page, which is new content. The My Learning is content that you've already looked at and consumed, sort of your history, or that you've bookmarked, and also allows you to specify your skills as well. So we'll navigate into the My Learning tab. You can see here are the skills that I've achieved, here are the skills that I'm working towards, and I can also see my saved content, which is what I've just saved, which is the 99 Thing to the World with Helen Pritchard. And I can see also a list of any of the recently viewed items as well. So if you've lost content on the platform, you looked at it recently, it'll be in that list to look at. So I'll navigate into one of the content items. So let's navigate into the super rare interview with Gary Vaynerchuk. And I'll click into that, and then I'm presented with this learning content. Now, depending on what the content type is, it's presented differently, but this is a YouTube video, so YouTube videos can be played directly within the platform when they're added. So you can see I can start to press play there, and Gary starts talking. But I can see down at the bottom here we've got the title and the description, and this description is controllable by the person who created this content, or if this content has come from a content provider like Anders Pink, that'll be populated from there as well. So you can see this content here, I can consume that. On the right hand side I can see who's posted that, so Jess has posted this content, and I can also see what skills it relates to, so I can see that it relates to the sales skill. And navigating a little bit further down at the bottom, it's giving me the related content as well for this content item, and the related content again is personalized to you and this content, so you're not going to get the same recommended content based upon this as another person. It's all going to be based upon what you like to consume. From this point, I can decide to engage with the content in particular, so I can write comments associated with that. If I have a question on it or observation to make, I can do that, and that's on any piece of content. And then I've got actions at the top here. So thumbs up is a like to say, I quite like this content. That then feeds into our personalization engine going forward. So not only we train it for yourself to make sure that you get the latest personalized content that you like the most based upon things like liking content, but also we use that as a kind of a currency across the board to say that, well, people in your organization seem to be liking this. Let's promote that content a little bit greater as well to them. I can go into comments from there. I can also bookmark from here, but I can also share this content directly as well with, here's my most frequently contacted people, and I can go into more and navigate into everyone in the organization, and I can share that content directly with them, and they will get an email and a notification to say this has been shared with them, and it will allow you to, the easiest way to say, hey, have you seen this content? We think this is nice learning content for you to consume. So that's a content item. That's obviously a YouTube video. There's lots of others, and we'll get into them probably in another video. But from here, you can see this content has a skill of sales associated with it. And I'm in the platform, and I'm thinking, okay, that's great. I'd like to learn a little bit more about sales today. And click on the skill, and straight away in that I can see some information. So I can see, well, do I have the skill? Yes, I'm working towards it at the moment. People in my organization who've achieved it, Jess has achieved that, people here are working towards it, what related skills, and again, this is recommendations to you based upon how we tie the skills together for your organization, and also the content that's been posted either automatically through an integration like Canvas Pink or through people in your organization as well, and you can see the differences with the avatars on what's automatic and what's been manually posted. And the content you see here is endless stream. And the content here as well is also personalized to you. So the items that are at the top of this are what we deduced that are the most important to you as a person. And from this point of view, we can see, okay, sales, and we can see Jessica Taylor has achieved this skill, so we can start to navigate people in our organization. And this is where it gets really interesting from a learning perspective, because we're now getting into the space of this tacit knowledge sharing. We're getting into the world of, instead of just being forced to consume content, as an individual learner, you can kind of dig around and start to consume the content. You can pull that content in that you want to consume. And that'll be based upon things like the people in your business that you actually want to follow the career path of, or that you respect, or you think have got the most sort of insights and influence in the learning space. So if I wanted to view Jessica and think Jessica's posted some really good content, I can go into Jess's profile. I can see exactly what skills she's got and working towards, so I can kind of look to sort of some influence there for my own personal career. But I can also see exactly who else is following Jess to see who might be like me, but also the content that Jess has created as well. So that gives you the list of endless content that Jess may have created. And from the screen, you can see I'm already following Jess, but I can actually decide to follow any person that I want. And based on the following that I do, you start to see and surface more content on the dashboard, and in personalization, the content that they create. So you start to formulate, again, more relevant content to you that you want to consume. Finally, just kind of on this very brief overview of the platform, I will head into search. Searches, you can search for anything in the platform, so I'll just search for Helen, because that should come up with some of the information that we've just seen. Here are the Helen Pritchard videos that we may have just sort of viewed in this demonstration. But I can also see the same cards here. I can see different types, but I can start to filter this down as well. So let's say that one there is a YouTube video from 2 days ago. I can look at the filter. I can say, well, when the date is added, has it been added in the last 7 days or today, for instance? And I can say what skill that it might relate to as well. But I can also say our content type. So if I just want to search for all the content for Helen, for instance, that was a YouTube content type, I can do that, and it will filter the content down. If I want to look at the most recent content that's been posted today or the last 7 days, I can do that from there as well. So you can start to see there's a really easy way of getting back to any of the content within the platform that you might see. So I guess that ends just our brief sort of demonstration of the platform today. I think in further videos we'll be talking a little bit more around tacit knowledge sharing and around actually enabling your end users to create content directly in the platform themselves. But I hope you enjoyed today and a brief look around, and I hope that you're looking forward to using it as much as I have been given to show it. Thank you.